Okay, I have to really get some off my chest. Apparently, Benny, who otherwise known as Comic Story, did a video, and I guess he said he tried to use the argument of or comics have always been political. I find this argument really grating. Now, I am not the biggest comic expert. I have only been into them for a couple years, like 2015 or 16, like shortly before the walking spray tan commercial became the Commander in Cheeto. So I haven't been into them, and I've mostly stuck to stuff with Red Hood and a few other characters. So I'm not the biggest aficionado. I'm not the most well informed on the subject, but I do find it hard to believe that comics were always as political as they have become. Now, have there been politics in comics? Yes, there have been, but not all comics have politics. And like one example I go to is Under the Red Hood. As far as I can tell, there's no direct political message. Then again, I can probably say the same thing for a lot of Red Hood stuff. I don't know. Anyway, and while yes, it is true there have always been politics to some degree in comics, it was not always the case with every single fucking comic. And plus, usually it was done to unite people. It wasn't beating you over the head or telling you you're an awful person if you think a certain way. Well, it used to not be that way. Now, pick your poison. And for the record, this is not me attacking Comic Story, and I used to like his content. I probably still do. It's just I haven't watched it in years. But I do like him as a content creator. As a person, I have no comment because, well, I don't know him. I would like to meet him someday just to talk to him about comics. But that's just my personal desire. But yeah, no, I am so fucking sick of this because, like, example, I remember Razorfist brought up this really good point, which was that the person at the time he made the video who was working on Captain America, the difference between him and the people making Captain America when he first came out, and that was a political character, like, it showed him punching Hitler. Then again, Hitler was an actual threat. Like, they saw him gobbling up nations. Like, Stan Lee said as much in the comic book documentary. But the difference between the two is that the people who made them during the days of World War II and now, the difference here is the people writing Captain America then were trying to unite the country. I think it's Nick Spencer. No, was it Nick Spencer or the person who was doing comics at the time? Razorfist did that video, and the people who write comics now, they are not interested in uniting people. They are interested in dividing people. They're interested in beating you over the head with a message and said, if you disagree with me politically, you are an awful person. You are X, Y, and Z. You're an ist. You're a foe. And I'm really sick and fucking tired of this mentality. So yeah, that's more or less my response to Comic Historian and this mentality in general. Like, it needs to fucking die. It's aggravating as hell. It's grating as hell. And if I get hate for this, fuck it. I will gladly take it. But yeah, I am a fan of Comic Story, and so I am disappointed to hear that he fell back on this because it's generic as hell and it lacks originality as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, that's just my thought on the matter. Yeah, see ya. Have a nice day, and pray for comics and for sanity.